Her.
All right. Oops. There we go. My computer wasn't muted. All right.
Morning,
Good
everybody.
morning, good morning, good morning.
If y'all can't hear us, let us know. We can pick up. The microphone's a little further away from us than normal. So.
I look like an elf. My hair.
You're fine.
I am now in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
All right. You ready?
Yeah, let's get started.
Welcome to Books We Never Read.
Except for those we have.
I'm Nicole.
And I'm Jason.
And this is episode 47, where we are talking about part 2 of The Retreat by Mark Edwards.
Edward Norton. It's Mark Edwards.
Okay. Before we get started, thank you so much for joining us, and we really want you to make sure video that you really want to be watching. So we talk about this section of the book as if you have also already read it. So we spoil everything. We hold nothing back. So please make sure if you haven't read part 1 yet, you go back a week and you watch the video for part 1. If you're live, we encourage you to participate in the live chat. And if you're watching on the replay, we encourage you to participate in the comment section below. Tell us what you think while you're reading. Tell us things we might be missing, especially in a mystery. It's super fun to guess all the whodunits and the what clues are red herrings and what's real. We want to hear all of that stuff from you. Even if it's way later down the road and we've already moved on to another book and you're just joining for the first time, please participate. I love reliving books like it's the first time that I've read them. You know, you only get one first time with a book, and it's so special. So we are also on YouTube Music as a podcast. So if you don't want to watch us, but you just want to listen, we are there. You can also join the discussion off of YouTube on Goodreads. We are a community at Books We Never Read.
Yeah. It looks like our video quality is probably really bad.
Oh, do you think so?
Let us know if the video quality is bad, and we could try to change it. I don't know if we should try, but...
Well, we can just put it on data.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I don't know if we should try that, but we can.
We can try.
But yeah, see, this is us. I'm on data watching us, and this is
Okay.
not good.
Yeah, let's just swap it to data. I believe we can do that without it turning off the video. If it does shut off the video, hang around and we'll post another live.
As you can tell, we're not at home, and we're trying to use all of our fancy equipment somewhere else. So
Refresh.
it's a little bit better. Looks better.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we're getting there. Refresh your screen and all that.
I'll check this too. Already.
Okie dokie.
Yeah,
So here we go. Okay, so we have been reading The Retreat.
Yes.
I have been blasting through this book. Both weeks, week 1 and week 2, I have read the entirety of our assignment on Sunday, which is great because it's super entertaining and I'm having a blast. It's terrible because by the time it's time for us to discuss it, my brain is already processed, moved on, and it's like I feel like I don't know what to talk about anymore. So
Yeah.
get us started.
Well, so also, so number one, right? I had a theory last week. I wrote it down in Nicole's notebook, and it has never been referenced again, which concerns me. Hey, good morning.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I don't know. What's interesting about this part of the book is usually part 2 is the part where we start to figure out the mystery, especially in a book this short, and then part 3 is where it wraps up. And I am still married to my theory, but I have no idea what's happening, right? I don't know. There's so many twists and turns and things that aren't. There are a lot of red herrings.
Yeah.
And I just don't know.
Yeah. So there was a character that we did not talk about last week, but we met last week, and that's the groundskeeper. And I'm really interested in of course, people buy and sell homes all the time, but we heard something about, Lucas's mom in the Skype session where he started kind of running through people in the town, mentioned Albert somebody who was the previous owner of the home that he's in now.
Mm-hmm.
And we have the groundskeeper who was employed by the previous owner. And I think maybe that's kind of a normal thing over in Europe, that a groundskeeper is just kind of married to the house and stays with it because we see that in Harry Potter as well and some other things.
It sounds like something I've read in fiction. Yeah.
But I don't know, is that real? So if we have any viewers that can give some insight into that, I'd like to know.
Yeah.
But we've not had any real conversations with the groundskeeper.
So we actually have. We had one.
Yeah.
Where
and it was weird.
Yeah, he was weird. He was like, so that was also one of my theories. Was like, what if he's like, don't dig under the flowers because like he's buried a little girl under them or whatever, right? Like that could happen. I don't know, maybe. He's meant to be there and be creepy, I think, but a lot of the people are,
Yeah.
There's kind of a trope about like creepy house workers.
Right, which is terrible because they work really hard and they're not creepy and they care and things would fall apart without them.
They might be creepy sometimes. Usually not, but they might. Just
saying. So in this part 2, part 2 started like, la-da-da, things are getting back to normal. There's no more singing. I'm really writing my book, all that stuff. Why would the singing have stopped for a while? What are your thoughts on that?
People ain't getting high no more. People sleeping better. The ghost got tired. I don't know.
Do you think it's a ghost?
So the theory that I wrote down in the notebook is a perfectly mundane, very human explanation.
Okay, not supernatural.
I want it to be supernatural.
Okay.
Right? I also want it to be aliens.
He always wants it to be aliens. Which, if you also always want it to be aliens, stay tuned for us to talk about what our next book is going to be.
Oh, did we pick?
I picked.
Hey! Cool.
Okay, so the singing has stopped.
Mm-hmm.
There's a new guest named Ursula,
Okay.
and the booze ban is gone.
Booze band's gone, yeah.
Why is the booze ban gone?
Yeah, I don't know. So this ties into like my maybe it's supernatural thing, right? She is the only person so far that we've had described with a color, right? You know the color is?
Red.
It's red. She's the only person described with the color red. And like, I don't know, like what if she is like the witch or whatever, and what if that's what happens? Because everybody, like people know this Ursula book or whatever, but like an immortal witch could write a book. Or like what if she's just pretending like she's Ursula because nobody knows like what she looks like, and like what if in part 3 somebody Googles her and they're like, oh my god, that's not her, right?
Oh, that's interesting. And when Max was not Max, sorry, when Lucas was walking through the woods, he thought he saw Ursula and he was trying to catch up to her and she disappears.
Yep.
So there's that.
I don't know.
Why would that convince Julia to lift the booze ban? Just one random tenant.
I mean, Julia's got a lot going on right now, right? Like a lot of trauma. And so maybe she just wants to drink. I don't know. Like she never had a problem. Her husband did. And it's also just a little more lucrative to let people drink in your own home or whatever. I don't know.
For sure. So Lucas, towards the beginning of part 2, wakes up to someone in his rooms. And he chases them till they disappear.
Yep.
And he's kind of distracted by Susie.
Yeah.
Dang it, Susie.
Yeah, every time.
Susie's really kind of a nut and button. She's just always in the way.
Yeah.
I hate that for Susie.
This is again one of those things where like he's coming up out of sleep, and so I'm not convinced it's real.
Okay.
Just like with some of the singing and stuff like the fact that multiple people hear singing is interesting, but like couldn't somebody be like asleep in one room singing in their sleep, and somebody else hears them? Like there's things that could be going on. Also, I really thought that perhaps it was Max that was in his room because Max seems kind of like a creep, but Max isn't here anymore. By the end of this.
Yeah, he wasn't dead by that
right.
point.
No, I know, but by the end he is. So he's
out.
If people stop singing and doing weird stuff, then it was Max, right?
Right. Poor Max. Oh shoot, I had a question about that and I don't remember. So someone was in his room, maybe.
Yep.
Chases him out.
Yep.
There's the point where the lights go. Oh yeah. Okay, so the lights go out and Max and Lucas chase a person out into the woods, and we know how that all kind of ends up. We also have Ursula saying that she saw a child, and we have that part where Lucas and Julia go to Megan's house to ask Megan about like why she was there, like why she came through the woods and was standing outside their house. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you think anything significant about any of that stuff?
Yeah. So, if we're going to say that there are no spirits or whatever, then somebody seeing a child outside, then there was a real child. The only child that we know of in town at all is Megan and her brother, right? So it's certainly possible that, um, I think Megan's a liar. I just do.
Yeah.
And
Megan's a
yeah,
twerp.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, and then there's like whatever's going on with the brother, and of course, like her grandfather is still like our prime suspect, kind of, right? Like that's definitely who Lucas is looking at. But it wouldn't surprise me if it was. Like, do we know if it was Megan that they saw out there? Yes, yeah, because she says I go out there because like I just miss her and sometimes I look at the house or whatever, right? Wasn't that her?
Yeah.
That's weird, but yeah, okay, I don't know. I don't know.
And when Lucas was leaving their house, Jake was in the window
Saying like widow or something.
and that made me wake up in the middle of the night.
Oh, really?
Like, I guess I was dreaming about the book and like my brain was trying to put the pieces together.
Yeah.
Julia's the widow that he's pointing to.
Yeah. Okay. Tell me more.
I don't know.
She killed her husband and her daughter?
I don't know.
Is she like the actual widow from like 30 years ago too?
I don't know.
Okay.
But there's something weird, right? Like, I think that Julia has something to do with... I think the story we're getting from her point of view is not completely accurate. Whether that's how her husband died.
Okay.
Or what the argument was. I feel like something is going on with her.
So why would Jake and or Megan know that she was... Like maybe the little girl, what's her name? The one that's missing?
Lily.
Yeah, maybe did Lily say like my mom's crazy or something, and like that's why they know?
I don't know.
Interesting.
I don't know.
Interesting. And maybe that's why the grandfather is so cold to them, is because he knows Julia's a crazy person.
Maybe.
I mean, he was around a little bit,
Yeah, dropping Lily off and stuff.
Interesting. I mean, yeah, anything's possible, right? At this point, anything's possible.
I just don't know. So...
all of these are still not my theory. Right.
Interesting.
All of them are still not. But again, like my prime suspect was never mentioned.
Yeah.
But that's I think why I picked them, is because I'm expecting something out of left field. But the Julia guess is very good, right?
I think there's something not quite lining up with the story we're getting from her. That's what I think.
Yeah.
I think that the spicy moment between her and Lucas was weird. Just that it happened and then it was like, okay, that was the end of that and we'll never talk about that again.
Well, also, but like talking about false trails, right? And you were talking about when the lights go out. They're down in the basement, which we thought was like maybe like a body cellar or something, and it's just like a playroom. I mean, there's just like little pieces being pushed out there.
Yeah.
So that literally everybody at this point is a suspect, And like even at some point, Lucas thinks like, well, what if Jake, the older brother of Megan, what if he did it?
Yeah.
Because he's like handicapped or something, and so he decides like maybe that's a good reason for a kid to be a killer. I don't know, but like I guess anything can be possible.
I don't know. And we know that someone is running around that house stealing things. We know the cookies are missing. We know some tampons are missing. We know someone's sandwich, Karen's sandwich that she made went missing. And I know I didn't eat it because my tummy growled. I miss Karen. The phone and the pen. Why did the pen end up under Max's pillow? Pen end up under Max's pillow. Why did the phone end up in the bookcase?
Right. Well, and the pen, just to go back a little bit, the pen being under Max's pillow is why we think Max was the one who went in Lucas's room, like in the middle of the night or whatever, right? Yeah.
But he says he doesn't remember picking it up,
Sure.
and
so you also had another theory that we kind of joked about over the course of the week, and it was that there's Freudian.
Are you okay?
That there was a gas leak.
Oh my gosh! The entire time I've been reading this book, I'm like, I know what the issue is. It's carbon monoxide poisoning because all of these people are hallucinating. They're crazy. They're paranoid. Those are the prime symptoms of carbon monoxide poisoning.
So we know that they live over an old mine, right? Like that's where this house is or whatever. What if there's some...
We need to put a canary in there. I hate to do that to the canary, but we need to know.
Well, so like, and they found these bats, right? And like...
Oh
And like the bats aren't doing okay. Maybe it's because there's gas all up in the attic. I don't know. But how funny would that be if it turns out that there's just this
It's just a carbon monoxide
and they're all tripping? I mean, that'd be great. That's
That's all
a
it
good way to
is.
go. Yeah. I don't know. So then here's another thing, right?
Hey, Peggy.
Going back to Jake and Megan, because like there's nothing to lead me to think that what Jake is doing by pointing out in the woods and all that is anything more that just like some kids saying something, right? And like I don't know. And we also don't know that he was saying widow, right? Like he could have been pointing at the literal window that he was looking at, just being like window. I don't know. He could have.
Yeah.
But what if I don't know, right? Like it'd be tragic, but what if there's a story of Lily goes over and she's playing with Megan, and Jake, who is like slightly older boy, gets aggressive with her and hurts and or kills her, and the grandpa hides the body or something, or finishes Lily off and then hides the body. Like,
But we know the day that she disappeared,
yeah.
and she was with her parents the day she disappeared.
All right, but so fine. What if Jake is stalking her and kidnaps her
Right.
and does something to her? The grandpa hides the body or something.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
like that could be part of the story, and that could explain why he's so hostile and why that
Right.
family's weird. I don't
Protective,
know. Yeah.
right. I kind of was thinking that too. I was laughing pretty hard when Grandpa Collins was like, "Oh, you like boys, huh? You like little boys?" And like he's like yelling out towards the neighbors, like, "Get a load of this guy!
Yeah.
He's a
He's a pedo.
he's a pedo," and he's all like embarrassed because Lucas, that was a terrible way to try to go talk to Jake.
Yeah.
You know what you could do? You could say, "You know what? Jake was trying to tell me something yesterday, but I couldn't like understand what he was saying, and I just wanted to see what he had to say."
Yeah.
And then if Grandpa still says no, you leave because that's a child.
Yeah.
You don't go, "Oh, I'm writing a book and I'd like to know what teenagers say."
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
you got to do that with people you know.
Now, so Peggy says that she doesn't want Jake to be the killer because setting up like a mentally ill child to be the killer
Right.
is just as bad as making like the gay guy the killer for
I
no
was
reason.
also
I'm on board.
thinking that comparison
I'm on board.
to Flanders Panel.
Yeah, with all the adults, we like need a motive, and with Jake, you don't necessarily need a motive beyond hormonal teenager with self-control issues, right? Like he provides a simple reason that
Right.
where it doesn't have to be I'm getting revenge on somebody or I'm a pedophile, whatever. It doesn't have to be any of that. So I don't know. I also don't want it to be him. I think it's like kind of pedantic, but.
And it's just cruel.
Yeah.
It's mean, and it helps like inspire fear of those,
Yeah.
who
I mean,
are
like-
different, and it's not okay.
But also, like, look, if we're gonna treat everybody equally, they get to be killers too,
Right. I was gonna say
Like,
that's true. That
gay dudes
sometimes
get to be killers, handicapped people can be killers, whatever, right? Let's do it all. But
So we've had a series of murders now, right? We have a mystery beyond that of the child. We've got Lucas's father, who died.
maybe not. Probably, you think it's a murder?
We just know he died.
It could be, I guess.
We have a series of deaths
Yeah.
that seem suspicious. His dad's death did not seem suspicious, but what is sus is that the mom was like, "Oh yeah, he was part of the historical society too."
Indeed. She did say that.
And the bed and breakfast owner was like, "Oh, he's the first."
Okay, now we're talking about my theory.
We've got the librarian, who is now
Deceased.
deceased, and we've got the actual bed and breakfast owner now. Susie? No. What's her name?
Oh yeah, Miss.
Not headed.
Yeah,
Headed's mom.
yeah, whatever her name is, but she fell down the stairs.
She fell down the stairs. How many
Allegedly.
people actually die from falling down the stairs? Especially drunk people.
Yeah.
When you're drunk, you don't tense your little body up, and it like protects itself, and you just wake up at the bottom of the stairs, and you're like, "Whoa!" Glad I was drunk in that one moment. I mean, maybe I wouldn't have fallen, but I definitely didn't die.
Yeah.
I don't think that she just drunkenly unalived.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think that's how that works.
Peggy talks about Hot Fuzz and how this is giving her Hot Fuzz vibes. Can I just go ahead and talk about my theory now?
Sure.
Can I do that?
Is it going to ruin the book?
I don't know. I don't know how it ends. But look, we're already here, right? We've already read 2/3 of the book, so we've met all of our suspects. So here's my theory, right? I'm definitely on the Hot Fuzz train. I think the Historical Society did it, right? It would make sense to me. Like, what if the Historical Society is some like ancient group stretching back into antiquity, whatever that might mean, right? And like part of, like, not only do they keep the history of this small area, but they also make sure that they keep the witch out, right? And they believed in the witch thousands of years ago, and they've just been like trained to believe in it continually. And so the Historical Society did it, specifically Lucas's father. And so, like, I'm interested in Lucas's dad because the only reference we have to him in the first part is he's the first to go, right? Which is now obviously in reference to his Historical Society. I wrote my guess down before we even knew that there was a Historical Society, right? But my figuring was that there was some sort of hot fuzz kind of organization going on. And I think that maybe like maybe they all did it. Lucas's dad did it. I don't know. I think Lucas is aware of it because he has these dreams, right? And he was able to write Sweetmeat, which is a little too close to home.
Yeah.
He was, he just kind of has these memories of like going around door to door or whatever looking for a kid. And maybe he was involved in that. And maybe the group obviously isn't going to sacrifice their own kids, but so he's aware that his parents were doing this to save him or to avoid him being the one killed.
And we specifically got the comment from Julia that her husband was not part of that Historical Society.
Yeah, well, because they were like new to town. I think they'd only been there for like a year or something.
And he didn't like what they were doing.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's kind of my theory.
Maybe they killed him. Maybe he was drinking because they were threatening him or something.
Yeah. I mean, maybe. But then that leaves. So then that leaves us with like, well, what's going on today, right? Like, fine, the Historical Society kills
a girl every 30 years.
A girl every 30 years, but like, what's up with Max? And like, what if Lucas has all this stuff in him? What if he like saw them, I don't know, cut her open or whatever they do to sacrifice people to the witch, right? I don't know. Like, what if he was there?
Yeah.
And saw it all and has repressed it all, and it's coming out now through his literature. And I want to point out that it's not impossible that he could have killed Max at the river. You know,
like just kind of.
Yeah, I mean, they're the only two that are mentioned as being there, right?
And the cops clearly think he's a suspect.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure, because he is. So I think that's definitely worth paying attention to. What if what we're seeing is a combination of the Historical Society doing something every 30 years, and in addition, either they're continuing to kill because Max or Lucas is onto their trail or something, I don't know, or somehow Lucas is like reliving some of these things and then is doing the killing, which would explain the missing things in the house and everything because he's not quite all there. Which brings us back to sort of like a silent patient idea, which I don't want. I don't want Lucas to be the killer because I did that one already. But, there's my theory.
Either way, this has been a delight to read.
Yeah,
and
I'm having a blast.
I'm really looking forward to finishing it. Okay. Those are all my notes. What's up with Ursula? Again, back to that, saying that, Lily's with Jesus.
Maybe, so that's like where we end.
Maybe Jesus is like someone in the town. Someone's name.
I doubt it. Maybe we should, no. Your spirit guide said Jesus, right? Like, it's different. Maybe. I mean, like, I think I'm on board with Lucas, and I think Ursula's a fraud, right? Like, I think she's, I don't know if she's, like, looking for money, and, like, she may not be purposefully a fraud. She might believe these things, but, like, she's a crazy person. Either she's just there to, like, give us this, like, weird supernatural stuff, just to, like, give us the chance that it could be a spirit, or she's the witch. Like, those are my options. I don't think Ursula knows what's going on. Like, she's just there.
Yeah.
Living her best little life.
Maybe Phoebe is the witch, and so she's possessed Ursula.
Oh, yeah.
It's her spirit. It's her spirit leader.
Yeah.
And, with her name being Phoebe, I am totally thinking of Phoebe from Friends. And so I'm like, I love your little spirit leader, and I would love for her to be my spirit leader, too, because I love Phoebe. Okay, so Peggy has a theory.
Yeah, okay.
But I can't read what it says.
Where Lily's body is.
Oh.
Very cool.
Where do you think?
Yeah, can you tell us? I'm interested.
Please.
Whenever we get to the second week of the mystery book, all bets are off. You can say whatever you
want.
want.
Just start flinging them out there.
Yeah. We'll keep riffing while you type in. Oh, there it is. Oh, no, that's not theory. No. But so at this point, so what you're saying is that Julia is your prime suspect. She is the witch. Like she did something. I mean, like
I think that Julia knows
mm,
something.
okay, interesting.
Or, yeah, I think the story that we're getting from Julia is not completely true.
Gotcha. So Peggy's under the peonies idea. That's what I was saying. So
Oh,
Peggy might have
yeah.
actually missed that part, but we were talking about the gardener and how he didn't want them to move those, and I was saying like, what if it's because there's a body under there?
How shallow is that grave? Peonies don't go that far down.
Yeah, yeah. Well, but right now, we're still only looking for. I mean, like, he's just the gardener. I don't think he has any other connection
Yeah.
to anything. He's not a historical society member. He's not like a chess player. I'm trying to think of all the groups that we know about, and all the ties that we have. And the only tie he has is to the house and to the previous owner, I believe.
What was the thing he said happens if you move the peonies?
No, just like bad, like you're gonna break your leg or something.
Yeah.
Something weird.
But I mean, if she is under the peonies,
Yeah.
that was the dumbest thing to say. Because again,
Yeah.
you got to bury your body pretty low.
Yeah.
Those peonies ain't running 6 feet under.
Yeah. But I agree. That was one of those things. I'm looking in all my mysteries. I'm looking for things that are random, out of place comments. The peonies one is one that definitely hit me last week, as like, oh, she's under there. But also, and that's why I have this theory about Lucas's dad, because there was just one little, oh, well, he's the first one of us who died. What is that?
Yeah.
And in a world where everybody's a suspect, I want to think that we're being given some hints, and I want to be able to look back and be like, oh, I should have seen that coming. And these are all like standing out a little too much, but I don't know.
The real mystery here: who is stealing the tampons? Those aren't cheap. I'm upset about it. I don't mind not Lyndon. I don't mind giving one out, but don't be stealing my tampons.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's got to be somebody that lives in the house. Like, otherwise, we're talking about somebody who's coming into the house regularly to steal
But there
stuff.
clearly seems to be someone else in the house.
Maybe.
Stealing food, singing, showing up in other people's rooms.
Yeah.
This reminds me of Jane Eyre, the crazy lady in the attic.
Mm-hmm.
That traumatized me as a child. I saw that movie entirely too young.
Yeah.
And then I read it in college, and I was like, I'm still traumatized about this. I always think there could be people living in the attic.
But who? Like who? So like let's do that theory, right? So let's
Who's in the house?
Let's abandon spirits.
Why would Megan be up in the house stealing stuff and eating stuff?
I mean, Megan's a creep.
Like playing around in the basement, maybe?
So is that your theory? Megan is the one stealing?
Peggy.
Oh, Megan. Oh, Peggy. Yeah. Okay. Fine. So let's add that to the list, right? There is a real person who is doing this, but it's not a person who's in the house. I mean, it could be Jake. Like it could, right? And like it could just again be that thing where it's like he doesn't really understand what he's doing. He's just doing it.
Yeah, that's true.
And he's the killer, and so he's like taking on the persona. He wants to be the witch for some reason, right?
Lily's not dead. I don't think Lily's dead.
You think Lily's doing it?
I don't think Lily's doing it.
That was kind of your theory last week.
But it was my theory last week. I don't think Lily's doing it. I think Lily is being trapped in somewhere. Maybe by Megan.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe by Jake. But they're being told to do it for some reason, right? But they're coming in and stealing some of her things, or things for her. Because she was right at the age where she would be needing those tampons soon.
Interesting.
So someone's stealing supplies to keep her where she needs to be. And then Peggy says guilt. She went to the same school. She'd know the song.
Yeah. I definitely think the kids are like a good suspect. Like
I don't think they did it. I don't think they might not even know like how they're so involved.
Yeah. Well, and it may just be like the family tie-in, right? Like I'm thinking that Lucas is involved because of his dad. Maybe they're involved because of their grandfather.
Mm-hmm.
Or I mean, look, I mean, and one other person we haven't talked about that I thought about this week was the mom, like Megan's mom. I don't know why, but like she's the person I suspect the least. Therefore, maybe I should suspect her.
Mm-hmm. And moms will do all kinds of crazy stuff to protect their own kids.
Yeah.
And the fact that she has not had a chance to speak because Grandpa always barges in and takes over the conversation. Anytime someone has tried to talk to Wendy, Collins shows up.
Yeah. Interesting.
Wendy's the weakest link. If we can get to Wendy, we can figure out what's going on. Oh, I can't wait to finish reading this book.
So, and we also still don't know where Private Detective is, right?
She did.
I think she did.
Wait, when did he go to her house? I was like flipping back through the book. Did that happen or did I dream that?
I don't remember.
Didn't he go talk to her roommate and stuff?
Or like the neighbor of the office or something. I don't remember.
The neighbor?
Yeah.
But also, I'm okay. I might have dreamt that he went out. Lucas went out
Right, he does that.
to go.
Yeah, he went to her house.
To
Yeah.
meet her roommate and stuff. And the roommate was like, "Why would I know?" Like.
Yeah,
You know.
and said that I think he also said that he got an email, and they were like, "Is that weird?" He's like, "Yeah, I guess. I don't know."
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Roommate's got an email.
Yeah,
Neighbor hadn't seen her. in
that's right.
weeks.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. So she's gone.
Yep.
These small communities, you just never know. But it sounds lovely. Like I love all the descriptions.
Yeah.
The river and whatever. Let's go to Wales.
Okay.
Okay.
So.
Cool. Do you have anything else that you want to
Nope.
run through?
I have given my theory.
Which one was your theory? Is his dad?
It's the historical society / his dad / Lucas reliving things,
Okay. Alrighty.
sort of.
Interesting.
Or like if the historical society did it 30 years ago, and then somehow Lucas is the one who killed Lily. Like it could certainly it was in the right time frame, so it could be a historical society again.
Yeah.
But also like it just could if we got a silent patient twist, I would not be excited. I would not be surprised.
Yeah.
Where he's the one who killed Lily because he's reliving these memories of his father somehow, and then now he's like come back to like revel in her misery or something. I don't know.
Huh. And maybe Lucas was like hypnotized or something as a child, and so he's being like zombied and acting under someone else's commands.
Could be.
Spooky, scary.
Could be.
So unfortunately, if you haven't already read The Silent Patient, we've kind of thrown a bug into that one too.
You should have. You should have been here from the beginning.
Sorry.
All past books on this show are fair.
Right. And they just have to be because we always like go back to it.
I have ruined the first book. What? God, I can never remember the
Three
name.
Body Problem.
I can never remember the name. I have ruined 3 Body Problem 87 times on the show.
All right.
Well, let's go read.
Yeah. So we're gonna post a short here in a little bit announcing the next book.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Do I want to say it now, or just do it
can
in the
if you
next
like,
one?
yeah.
Well, it's gonna be we're throwing it back to sci-fi. It's gonna be Rosewater, which is a trilogy, but we're just committing to the first one.
And then maybe to the rest if we like it.
And if we like it, then we can keep going. Rosewater by Tade Thompson.
Yeah. We'll explain in the next video why we're so excited about it.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, you guys, go finish the book. Pop on Goodreads. Let's get to typing.
Yep.
I hope you're as excited as we are.
Yep.
And we'll see you next week for the resolution.
All right. Happy reading.
Happy reading. Bye, guys.